Before my sister-in-law's anniversary dinner, I swapped the card in my clutch and said nothing. When the $265,000 check arrived, my husband reached in smiling and found what I'd planted. The terminal beeped, one hard, flat, unfriendly sound that cut through the laughter and the chandelier light and the white rose smell of the most expensive room in Dallas, then silence. And in that silence, my husband's face, the face I had loved, defended, and covered for across 7 years, 3 months, and 11 days, did the most honest thing it had done in years. It cracked. He said, "Try it again." The server did. Another beep, louder this time, or maybe the room had just gone still enough to feel it in your sternum. Declined. $26,500, 14 guests, 1 photographer hovering near the bar, and an inactive card I had planted in my own clutch at 4:30 that afternoon with the steadiest hands I've ever owned. I didn't move. I didn't apologize. I didn't save them. Not this time. My name is Lila Hale. I'm 36 years old. I hold a controlling interest in a mid-market commercial real estate firm called St. Meridian, which my late father-in-law Robert built over 20 years and which I helped rebuild after he died. I am not a dramatic person by nature. I am organized, precise, and, for most of my adult life, deeply, pathologically allergic to conflict, which is how I ended up here. But I need to back up, because you don't arrive at a moment like that one without a road that led you there, and this road was longer and uglier and quieter than it had any right to be. I met Ethan Hale at a fundraiser in 2016, when I was 30 and he was 32, and the kind of charming that makes you wonder later if charm was the whole product. He was funny, he was warm, he touched the small of my back like he meant it. We dated for 18 months, got engaged, married in a small ceremony in Marfa, and moved into the house I owned outright in Lakewood, a craftsman bungalow I'd bought on a lawyer's salary 3 years out of law school, held in a separate trust, protected by a prenuptial agreement my father had insisted on with the quiet ferocity of a man who trusted concrete more than sentiment. Ethan said the prenup was fine. Ethan said a lot of things were fine. I met his sister Marissa at Christmas that first year. She was 34, beautiful in that polished, studied way, and she came with a boutique called Hale & Honey in Highland Park that sold curated blazers, overpriced candles, and a brand identity built almost entirely on her personal charisma. She kissed both my cheeks and told me I was exactly what she'd hoped Ethan would end up with. I thought it was a compliment. That was my first mistake. The second came 6 weeks later, on Christmas Eve in my mother-in-law's kitchen, with me basting a ham and Marissa leaning against the counter, asking if I could just float her $4,000 until January because she had overdone it at Neiman's. "Not like a business thing," she said, laughing, touching my arm like we were old friends. "As family." When I hesitated, she didn't push. She just left the word family in the air, like perfume. I mentioned it to Ethan in bed that night. He turned over, already half asleep. "She'll pay you back after New Year's. And even if she doesn't, she's my sister. She never paid me back." By year 2, airline tickets to Cabo because her card had gotten flagged. By year 3, a vendor deposit for the boutique because a client payment was late. By year 4, a temporary payroll gap. Her words, not mine. By year 5, Ethan quietly used my annual bonus to cover the shortfall on a lease Marissa had signed for a larger retail space. After I sat them both down and showed them, line by line, why the numbers didn't support it. "She just needs